Good morning, everybody. First thing we're going to notice is, hey, I got a haircut. Looks good, doesn't it? And starting to lose weight, getting rid of my little double chin. Doctor put me on a diet, said something about me being a fatty. So we got to take care of that. So today, I thought we would go ahead and we're still working out of the shop, right? So today I thought we would start replacing some of these fluorescent bulbs. So as you can see, 16-foot ladder, which is going to be scary because it's going to require me being like a rung or two from the top to replace, oh, let me see, about 48 fluorescent bulbs. Now that's going to do a few things. Not only is it going to make it brighter and warmer and better light in the shop, it'll lower my electric bill, which is always good because the next thing I'm thinking about putting in is going to take electricity. So let's save a few pennies to add a few bucks. Let's see how we do. All right. So I had ordered these LED bulbs. They're not bulbs, not really. LEDs are not bulbs. But I had ordered them from Amazon in a box of 25 to get me started. Big box. These are replacing the T25 fluorescent bulbs. I have not yet opened the box. So I thought I'd go ahead and do that with everyone watching the video. And we're gonna make that happen in just about a second. So what I did do is I have a new tripod, which supposedly is going to help follow me while I'm talking, and we'll see how that works out. Anyway, before anybody freaks out, I'm using my Corvette as a workbench, but don't freak out. I put cardboard down, nowhere near the paint, so it'll be okay. All right, let's see what these look like. Well, this is kind of exciting, isn't it? I love unboxing stuff. Awesome. Oh, look. What do you get in the box? Another box. Okay. All right, so I opened the box to find another box. Shoot. Get that crap out of here. All right. Now, if this ends up being one of those Russian nesting boxes, I'm not going to be happy. So let's go ahead and open box number 2. Alright. Being super careful because I don't want to cut through any of the packaging or the bulbs. So let's go ahead and see what we have. And this thing that's supposed to follow me is not doing a very good job, is it? So we'll try this. All right. So now I see a full box of these tubes individually wrapped in rubble, bubble wrap stuff. It's sort of a styrofoam. Anyway, they're individually wrapped. Now these are direct replacements for the fluorescents, which means they're not supposed to take any special ballast. You're literally just supposed to be able to pull them out of the tube and put them in the new tube, and they're frosted. So we'll see if that's just giving me a softer glow or if this is going to be something I'm not going to like. Let's see. Before I commit to doing a lot of them in a very scary situation, I'm just going to do one. You're going to go along for the ride. By the way, notice how tall that ladder is. Super scary. It's rated for 300 pounds or one Jim Cross. Okay, let's see. I do not like being up on top of a very tall ladder. And first thing I'm going to do is just kind of a quick measurement against the one that's already there to ensure they're the right length and they appear to be. So now, let's set this one off to the side. How convenient that there's a shelf. We'll set that one off to the side. We'll pull this tube out. I'll be back. And then we're just going to take one of these out. Just like this. I don't know what to do when that's not there for you to use. And we're just going to take this one. This is not really optimum. But I feel like I'm hanging off the edge here. Actually. Alright. So we see a difference from down there. I can definitely see a difference from up here. Huh. Okay, next one. And turn it off. Super easy. And then we'll put the next two. And don't need the styrofoam thingy. And when I do the next one, I'm definitely moving the ladder backward. Because it's, let's just refer to it as suspicious at this angle. And there's the two old fluorescent tubes, which I don't need any longer because I never plan on putting them back up. So luckily they'll break down into almost nothing as I put them in the trash. And let's see here. Now, I don't know if you can tell from that angle, but it is definitely a cleaner light. Like, it just looks nicer. So let's go ahead and switch the angles here. And come up under. I don't know how clear that is in the camera. You can definitely see one's more yellow. The old ones are more yellow. The new ones are more white. I'm pretty happy with that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this on sort of a time lapse. And I'll just take videos as I go. And so you don't have to watch me go up and down a ladder 50 times. All right? All right. So bear with me. That sure is convenient. Nice in those tracks. So I'm just going to pull them both at the same time. You precariously first film. I think I'm going to make a little hanger or something to have something to set the bulbs on while I left here. Because it's a little, it just adds a level of difficulty to try to hold the bulbs and balance on the ladder. So I'm going to try to get a little more creative than that. Bear with me. Okay, anyone who's done a project knows that to do a project, you generally have to do 2 or 3 other projects to get the first project done. So I'm trying to put up these lights. I have the first 2, well, 1.5 done, right? Some reason that second one keeps going out. I don't know if it's defective or if there's just a problem with the connector. I'll fix it. And then, in order to do that, as you can see, to move the ladder, I have all this stuff in the way. So I need to move that in order to have a spot to replace the lights. So bear with me as I start moving totes, okay? And these totes have, generally they're full of tools or toys or parts, or just a myriad of different things that I just need to find some room for. I do that until I get some of these other things organized. So we're working on this problem one tote at a time. That's what I should have called the channel. One tote at a time. These yellow totes are generally tools, and these totes here, as you can see, they're overflowing with different Tonka cars. Right? So there's just tons of them. I love this. This one has 4 different cranes in it and a skid steer, but they're awesome. Someday I'm going to get to these. For now, they'll probably end up in storage until I can get to the pile later. Gems, toys, and Superman stuff. I collected Superman stuff for probably 20, 30 years. Oh, all nylon. Those are like, sort of like Tonka trucks. So they're pre-Tonka truck days. More Superman stuff. That allows me to get to the next bank of lights, and we'll go from there. Once upon a time, long time ago, I used to collect everything. So in this case, I had probably about 40 vintage outboard motors, right? This is probably one of the newer of them, but I had to get rid of most of my collection when we moved to a much smaller house. Now that I have this house, I'm able to go ahead and display them again. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this one up with the other few that I already have up, and we're starting the display all over again. And you see right here, right there, way over in the corner. That's where they go. Bear with me, it's going to take a second. It's a long walk. It's way over here. There we go. One more motor up on the shelf. All right, I believe I have a solution to the holding the bulbs while I'm up in the air or while I'm up on the ladder, so it frees up my hands. So I had an old basket, used to be a basket, 4 sides, bottom, right? So I cut the sides off of it, and then I bent the lip over on one side, and then I bent up the bottom, the other side. This is actually the bottom. I bent up the other side and put a little bit of a curve in it. It's not real super durable, but these things literally weigh probably less than half a pound each. This will allow me to go ahead and set the lights up there and work with it with my hands completely free. Not a bad idea, eh? So first thing I need to do is see why that bulb is not working, and let me hang this while I'm checking it out. And you can see how well it works, or if it doesn't work at all. We'll see. On the top shelf, put that in. Wow, that works great. Now let's check out this tube and see what the problem is. So I think it's a defective tube. It's super warm on the one end, which is not indicative of a good tube. Yeah, the tube's bad. As soon as I slide it in, it starts flickering. Yeah, this LED tube is bad. That happens. Let's see here. Oh, look though. Look how well my bulb holder works. So let's go on to the next one. After I fix this one, of course. Bad tube. Bad tube. Let's see if this one's any better. And oh, it looks like it's the connector at the end of this. Not so much the tube. Let's see how that works for a while. All right, I think I'm ready to start putting light bulbs up. I've moved the huge pile of totes. As you can see, they're free all pretty much the whole way now. Now, to give you some frame of reference, these original blue and black totes were from a house we lived in 5 years ago. The red and black totes, which still have never been opened, were from what we moved into our last house 3.5 years ago. And the yellow and black totes were just loaded 5 months ago. So this is going to give me an opportunity to get through all these totes and organize them. That's exciting. And we can see how well my new bulb holder is going. So let's go ahead and get to it. Here's the new bulbs. Stick the bulbs in the bulb holder. Oh, look at that. Pretty impressive. Out of necessity becomes the mother of invention. I think that's what this thing says. So I'll just come up here. I got the old bulb. And both the other bulbs. I left the bulb in the styrofoam, and it might be an issue. I was trying to keep them protected while I was walking up the ladder, so I didn't get my rubber fingerprints all over them, but that may pose to be a mistake. Because now it takes just an extra second to get them out of the tube, and I'd rather minimize the amount of time on the way up here. So, you know, once upon a time when you were replacing fluorescent with LED, you had to put in a new transformer. It wouldn't run off the original 120 transformer. I'm very happy to see they seem to have fixed that problem. As I said before, now I took the styrofoam off, so I had to deal with that 16 feet in the air. The bulb pile is growing. Let's see how big it gets by the time we're done. So I'm just going to say, so everyone's aware, I am not happy with these bulbs. Because they work when I first plug them in, and then I would say almost 50% of them fail. Like, I'm going to have to go back and redo this. Look how many of the bulbs just stop working. So I'll tell everybody the name of them when I get done, so nobody else will be stuck in the same position that I was of buying shit. Should know you tend to get what you pay for in life. So I only have 4 left to put in. I might as well put them in so I can redo them all later. Nothing's better than having to do a job twice. Yep, that you didn't want to do in the first place. That's just joyous. Last one. Until I replace them all with better bulbs. Let's talk about this for a second. This was supposed to be a good project. It's supposed to make me happy, make it better to see in here, save some money. Don't buy cheap LED bulbs from Amazon. These, so these Amazon bulbs, made in China, of course. Let me see. I was hoping the manufacturer would be on this, but they're not. There's a reason for it, because they're garbage. So, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that one is gonna go. So that's 4 out of 24. Yeah, see that one flickering? 4 out of 24, so we're talking almost 20% of the bulbs are faulty, which means I'm gonna end up having to replace them all because that just the remaining ones will go bad. So it just ticks me off. It's you spend good money on something, you expect it to be good. You know, I have like 35 followers, so nobody's gonna see this, but my little bulb basket thing worked incredibly well, so I didn't have to have my bulbs in my hands while I was up on top of the ladder. And look how nice my outboard engine looks up there. Right? I used to have like 40 of them. I have 4 now. There's one right here. There's one that's not hanging yet. Eventually, knowing me, this whole thing will be covered. Yes, very cool bicycle. Right? But for now, I'm focused on the freaking light bulbs that are shit. Don't buy them from Amazon, or at least don't get the cheap ones. Okay? Have a good day.